Eduek.
And I'm Chite.
Today we're going to be talking about lifestyle changes. Last episode we gave you a plan and everything that you need to do. What do you need to do to actually carry out that plan every day of your life? Like, how does this work? And what are some of the things that you can do to adjust those changes that would help you stick to that plan?
Yes, that's true.
Well, first of all, you need to understand that for you to get out of debt, you need extra money at the end of your budget. And we kind of gave you tips last week on how to make that happen. You first of all need to understand you should be spending less than you're earning. So that's
true.
the first mentality that you need to have. You need to be spending less than you're earning, because if you're always going over your income, you're never going to have extra money at the end of the paycheck. Mm-hmm. So you need to make certain changes. I'm assuming that you're not able to pay off your debt because you don't have any extra money. Mm-hmm. And that's because you're spending more than you're making.
Yeah. So let's take a step back and go to the initial part. Like, how was your lifestyle before you made the lifestyle changes to embark this journey?
I used to save, but my saving was a joke. The only thing that I saved for was I had an emergency savings and I have a travel fund. So I would save for my vacation. So basically, at the end of the year, my savings is gone because whatever I save for during that year, I use it to travel. So it wasn't like I was saving for anything major. My saving was mostly for a goal. Like if I wanted to do something.
For short-term goals.
Yeah, short-term goals. That was kind of how I handled it. And then in terms of spending, it was after my bills are paid, because I always made sure my bills get paid first. It was just whatever is left over, it's like I spend it till it goes to zero. And then after it goes to zero, if I still see something that I want to get, I'm like, okay, I can get it now that the money that I have in my checking account is done. I can get this thing now. And then when I get paid in a couple of weeks, I'm going to pay out that thing. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, when that week comes, something else maybe in the middle of the previous
more important things
would have come up. And that's just kind of how I kept postponing the payment, and that's how the debt kept accumulating. One of the important things that I had to learn in terms of changing my lifestyle is the differences between my needs and my wants, because a lot of the things that I put on my credit card were things that I said, oh, I need to get this thing. I wasn't paying my rent on my credit card. No one does that. So a lot of these things were not
essential.
They were not, nothing was essential. It was just things that I thought, oh, I have to do this. There might have been a couple emergencies that happened, but that was because I wasn't planning efficiently to handle those things when they came up. So I was always putting money on my credit cards. You need to understand certain things are needs and certain things are wants. So can you give us some examples of what a need is?
A need is something that allows you to function, allows you to live on a daily basis, which are food, shelter, water, and clothing. And even in those categories, you can easily spend beyond what you need to be spending, because, for example, in terms of shelter, you only need a 1-bedroom apartment because you're a single person and you don't have a lot of stuff. You don't have a family, you don't have children. But a single person could also be living in a house, with 4 bedrooms. So just because it's one of the basic needs, but are you living according to your environment and according to your means, right?
Yeah.
In terms of food, all you need is a nice home cooked meal, maybe like a little bit of chicken, a well-balanced meal, like with some veggies and some, rice or potatoes or whatever. But
you don't have
some
to
people
be eating
could
a gourmet meal every night.
Could easily be eating out every single night because it's one of the basic needs, right?
That's so good.
Even in the category of basic needs, people can go overboard. And then you go into the other things that people think that they need, but they're not actually needs, like cars and things like that.
So the opposite of that is a want. Like if you don't get that thing done, nothing's going to change. You're not going to die. You're not going to starve to that. Your health is not going to be affected. Like none of those things are going to happen. So an example is getting your nails done, getting your hair done. You can live on Dada, and if you're Nigerian, you know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what that is.
Your life would still go on. Like maybe people might not talk to you, but you're still surviving. So there are a lot of things that we put in that category of wants. And like Chite said, even those things that are needs, we have to
be careful.
We have to be careful how much money we're allocating to those things. Like you said, do I really need to be living in a 4 bedroom, or do I really need the what's this car that people get these days?
A hybrid Lexus.
Yeah, like you can drive the most basic car, it will still get you to where you need to go to and come back, and not it's not going to change anything. What are some of the changes you had to make to your lifestyle to when you started this debt-free journey?
In all honesty, I'm so basic that I didn't have to make much of a lifestyle change. I've always had a budget and I always loved doing things in a very cheap way, but I still needed to change my lifestyle in terms of, like you said, buying things now and putting them on a credit card in hopes that I'll pay it the next month. Mm-hmm. That thing has never worked because there's always going to be something more pressing that will happen in the next month that you need more than the thing that you need now. So that's one of the biggest things that I had to change, because you cannot foresee the future. Like, nobody knows tomorrow. So like, if you're spending now money that you don't have, you never know when you're going to get it. So that's the biggest lifestyle change that I had to make. One of the biggest issues that I had was my shoe addiction that I mentioned before. It's so hard for me to walk into the mall and see a shoe store and not want to go in. So one of the things that I had to do was to figure out how I'm going to stay the heck out of the malls in order to not spend money on shoes.
Yeah. Like we mentioned knowing what your triggers are. For me, seeing things visually would get me to buy stuff. Like, I don't know, I get influenced easily. So I had to unsubscribe from all of those emails that I used to get from stores when they were like, oh, 50% off, because everyone likes a good deal, right?
Yeah.
You would get an email saying 70% off, and you don't really need to go buy that thing, but because you're seeing such a good deal and you don't have that money right now, you're like, oh, when I get the money, this deal will be off. You get that thing right now, and then when that money comes, I'm going to pay it up. But like you said, a lot of times it doesn't always happen that way. So know the things that are triggering you and stay away from those things. Avoid them like a plague. You know, those things that would make you swipe your credit card or pay online. Like for me, shopping online was one of the biggest things for me that I didn't have control of. So I had to stay away from a lot of the online. I don't think I've shopped online this year, apart from the stuff that we had to buy for our podcast on Amazon.
I haven't bought any shoes.
I lied.
This summer.
I totally lied. I spoke too soon. But that has reduced drastically for me, because before I would go online and just be feeding my eyes, feeding my mind. Before you know it, $300 in my cart, and I'm just like, you're not feeling it because you're not in the store, so you just pay for it and it comes. And sometimes I don't even open the package till like 3 weeks after. Like, it's so stupid.
And the return period is over, so now you have to keep everything.
So that's another thing that you have to figure out for your lifestyle. Like, know the things that surround you. If it's your friends, if you're with bougie friends, there's nothing wrong with being bougie, but if your friends are going to restaurants where their one meal is like $60 per meal every single night or every weekend, and you know you can't afford that lifestyle anymore, tell those friends, hey, look,
let's meet at my house this week.
We can get creative. There's a lot of things we can do to have a good time, spend a good time with your friends without spending a lot of money. So tell them, say, hey, look, I am trying to pay up debt. I don't know about you. Maybe you have all the money in the world, but right now, this is the situation I'm in, and I'm not going to be able to afford all of those meals anymore. So I would appreciate it. Let me know in advance. It's either you let me know in advance so I can plan for it, or I would not be able to attend. So you just have to make those changes in your life. You have to let people know that this is what I'm going through, this is where I'm at, so they don't try to tempt you to do things that you don't want to do.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, those points are really good, because as you were saying, like, knowing your triggers, I am so happy that I haven't spent money on shoes since summer of 2018. Wow. And now summer of 2019 is about to be over. Guys, awesome. 1 whole year of no shoes. I am so proud of myself. And you mentioned being influenced by your friends to go out to have all of these different invitations that you need to spend money on. That was one of the biggest money grabber for me, because then I'm like, okay, I need to buy new shoes to
Oh
back to
yeah,
shoes.
because now you have to go to the event, so you need to buy
Yeah,
clothes
I
to go
have
to
to
that
buy
event.
new clothes. I have to buy a new dress to attend this thing. I have to, you're always buying things. Now I'm more strategic about my invitation. If I do still want to see my friends, so I'll be like, okay, let's meet at my house, and then maybe we can do like a potluck. And that way everybody gets to contribute and you get to do the things that you want to do, but still be within the means that you have, and not go out on this whole brunch experience
Oh yeah.
and then come back broker than you were before and just sitting there wondering where your life went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust me, no matter how much good of a time you spent with them, coming home and realizing that you spent more than either you budgeted for or that more than you even planned initially, that feeling of failure is going to overwhelm that feeling of joy you felt when you were with them or whatever time you spent with them. Trust me, because I know this because I've been in that situation so many times. And it's hard, especially with friends that you don't get to see all the time. Maybe their timing when they're inviting you to that thing, it doesn't fit your timing. So sometimes your friend can just let you know, oh, in 2 days, like I have this thing, like can you come? And you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to spend maybe $150 for this thing. Like I don't have that money, but you don't want to say no to that friend because maybe that friend is a really good friend of yours. You just end up going to that thing and then you come back and you're like, oh well, now I'm not going to be able to put that $150 to my dad because I just spent it on doing this thing that I didn't plan. Which brings me to my next point, knowing how to say no. You're gonna say this word so much that some people are gonna love you for it, some people are not gonna like you for it, but it's all good. Anyone that wants to see you succeed is gonna love where you are in your journey and like that you're trying to be better for yourself. So if someone's trying to give you attitude or give you issues because you're saying no to them, and don't be rude about it, or don't use
Don't be
that
like, hey,
don't use that as an excuse
no.
to be a bad person. Don't just be like, oh no, I can't come to your thing because I don't have money because I'm paying off my debt. No, just don't be evil about it. Do it in a nice way. Tell that person, hey, see, sometimes you might not even have to explain yourself. But if it's someone that you're really close with, yeah, you have to explain to them that, look, this was really short notice. If you had given me the time to plan for it, I would have been able to do it. But unfortunately, I cannot come. I really wish you well. I hope you have fun. If you can send them a gift, maybe send them the money that you can afford to give to them rather than going there and spending that thing.
Yeah, you're right. Informing people in advance is so important because we recently had an event. It was a little bit pricey, but because someone was not able to give their notice in advance, other people had to bear that person's costs. And if you don't tell people in advance, then they can't plan for you not being there. And then it's not just affecting your debt journey, it's affecting their journeys too. Yeah.
Before you say yes, make sure that it is something that you can have sufficient time to put in your budget. And as long as that thing does not affect your goal, because we talked a lot about how to plan and set those goals for yourself. So if your goal is to pay $500 every month towards your debt, and we talked about money you should allocate for spending and fun and all of those stuff and for miscellaneous things like this that come up, and if that money is going to make you tap into either your debt journey or make you go take your credit card and pay for that thing, you have to say no to it. Do not put your friend's wedding dress on a credit card. Do not put your friend's trip to wherever, bachelor trip, on a credit card. Don't do it. If they didn't give you sufficient time to plan for it, if it's your fault that you didn't plan for it, then it's your fault. If your friend gave you 5 months notice and then you're just being lazy,
now finding out like you
about
don't have
planning,
the money,
then that's on you. You have to you have to let them down, but you probably are not you're gonna lose that friend. But if that friend just came up to you last week and was like, hey, we're going to the Dominican Republic for my bachelorette, sorry friend, not happening. I love you, but goodbye. If they give you time to plan for it, yes, you can plan for it. You can put a little $20 every month or every 2 weeks aside for that thing. And if you looked at it and you're saying that, oh, even that $20 that I have, I'm not still gonna have the money that I need to go to this thing, then you have to let your friend know. Say, hey girl, I love you so, so much, but this thing is going to put me in a difficult situation and I don't
Yeah.
want to be in this situation. This is how much I have. Can I give you this money so you can add it to your trip and so
Yeah.
you can have fun?
Yeah.
Any friend,
And now you've saved for a gift for your friend.
any friend that loves you and wants what's best for you would understand. They might be upset at that moment, but they'll get over it. They'll trust me. There's going to be lots of other people there
Yeah.
that are going to be there to, they're going to
Yeah,
be
one
having fun
person
and not
missing
thinking
is
about
not going to
you.
be a big deal as long as you let them know in advance.
Yeah, like I said, don't be,
Because your debt-free journey is not sudden. You just didn't start this like right now, you know? You've been on this journey for a while, and people who already know that you're on a debt-free journey, they'll understand. And because you've been on this journey for a long time, you need to give people notices in advance. You know, when all of your friends' birthdays are coming up, you need to know when to start saving or planning to save for those things. You know, Christmas is around the corner. You need to know when to start saving for those things.
tell us about all the different saving funds that you have. You need to have your saving funds, which should be, I don't even know. You need to save for everything.
Yeah.
I know it's not something that people like to hear, but you have to put it. If you know 5 months in advance that you have a wedding or a trip coming up, whatever it is that is coming up, you're getting an oil change coming in the next 3 months. You have to save for it.
Yeah, it's true because we both had big birthdays this year, and I knew like from last year that this is gonna happen, and I need to have a new dress. I need to have, you know, a good location that I'm gonna do my birthday at. I need to invite this many people and all that stuff. So I started a birthday fund well in advance, and I supplemented that fund by stopping one of my subscriptions, and so all the money that I would have put towards my subscription also went to that birthday fund. So I was not only saving money for my birthday, but I was also using money that I was saving from other things because I knew my birthday was a more worthy cause compared to that subscription that I had. I also have a car fund. Edwick once saw that and she was wondering if I was about to buy a new car. But because my car is so old and I know that I need to take it to the garage every other day, I knew that I needed to have a car fund because I know something was going to go wrong and I'm going to need to bring that car to the garage. And I know like the fund that I was saving wasn't going to be like the whole amount, but at least I had half of the amount that I was going to pay for there. So like I could, even if I was supplementing it with my emergency fund, at least I had some money saved towards my car fund. Yeah. And I have the emergency fund, and then I have other funds that
travel fund.
Yeah.
Little trips, all of these things have to be, you have to put it aside. That's the only way it's going to work, because if something comes up and you have to either put it on your credit card, or if it affects the money that you're putting towards your debt, it's going to put you in a bad situation. So you always want to be, I know you cannot be 100% prepared for everything in life, but you have to be as prepared as possible. You talked a little bit about canceling subscriptions. How does that affect?
Yeah, so one of my
lifestyle?
my biggest issues, oh my, I'm prone to addictions. I don't know if it's just if I'm alone. Comment, you know, if you also have some very strange addictions. I was addicted to Netflix. I still struggle with this. But
who isn't addicted to Netflix?
No, I feel like everybody is addicted to Netflix, but for me, it was an unhealthy addiction. Like, I would stay up all hours of the night, knowing that I have work the next day, knowing full well that I have responsibilities, and just forego all of those responsibilities just to watch all my shows. And some of these shows, I didn't even know the language that these people were speaking. I was just watching it for the sake.
Korean dramas that like trips me out.
I watch Korean, I watch Norwegian, I watch, French, I watch all of them. And so I was like, okay, I need to figure out a way to make my life more useful, more productive, and also be able to save at the same time. So I had a Netflix subscription, and I was like, okay, the only way for me to overcome my Netflix addiction is to stop the subscription. Good thing Netflix has a program where you can defer your subscription, so you can cancel it and don't have access to it. But you can also, like, if you take it back within 8 months, they save all of this stuff that you were watching before, and you can continue watching everything. So I was like, okay, 8 months is good enough time for me because it gives me enough time to save from the subscription, and also gives me enough time to learn to live without it. And that was one of the subscriptions that I had to give up.
Yeah. For me, I canceled my gym membership because Luckily for me, we have a gym at work. I mean, it's not fully loaded as you would find in your regular gym, but I mean, it's okay for me and I don't have to pay for it. So why keep something that when I have something that can supplement it? And some of us, we get newsletters that we're subscribed to. We get those newsletters in our inbox and we don't even open them. Even if it's $1, cancel it. That's $1 more that you're saving or you're putting towards your debt. That's $1 more that you're gonna have that you didn't have before. There's so many other subscriptions that we have, and we subscribe to all kinds of things. I had a meal kit subscription because I was this girl. Sometimes I get so lazy, I don't want to cook, so they ship my meal to me. But at the end of the day, I was spending almost double of what I would spend normally for my groceries just because I was trying to get convenience. And that's true. A lot of the things that we're subscribing to just for convenience sake. Like we have we would order a meal and then have them deliver it to us. Like that's just because you want convenience in your life. But what's stopping you from driving to the grocery store and getting that thing for yourself and getting it for a more cheaper value? So look at all of these things and cancel it.
Yeah,
you don't
it's
need
true.
those things in your life.
It really adds up because, like I said, my Netflix subscription is only $15-$20. It's not a lot of money, but 20 times 8 months, that's $160. That's like $100 birthday fund that you have right now, you know? Plus, if you're also saving another $10 each month, that's $200 for your birthday. Easy. As long as you plan in advance, you'll be good to go.
Yeah. So what is the easiest way for people to stop using credit cards? Because for you to get any traction on your debt payment, you need to stop using credit. That's just the bottom line. Stop using credit. But what is the easiest way you think that would make someone not reach out for their card and go use it in the store or use it online?
Cut it up.
Yes,
cut it,
girl.
Cut it. Cut it
up. Cut it up. Cut it up. Some of you, if you were like me and you know your card number in your head, cancel. Well, you can't cancel it if you've not paid for it.
You can't cancel your mind.
So what I did, this is what I did, because I was, like I told you, I shopped online. So because I shopped so frequently, it was stored in my phone, because you can save your card information, and it was saved on all these online platforms.
Oh wow.
And I went to all of these places that I used to shop and removed my card information from all of them, because some of them I had PayPal. So PayPal, I removed all of my information, canceled everything. Like any of these stores where you stored your card information, go back, remove your payment information, delete your profile, delete everything, tell them you don't want to get their stupid emails anymore, unsubscribe from their weekly emails, just tell them I'm done with you, like be done, like take it all out.
Because you're not your friends, they're not gonna miss you.
Exactly. So even if you don't have the physical card with you, like if you're like me and you go online and you still have access to that card, just take it away. Now, before I buy anything online, I have to use my debit card, and my bank doesn't actually have the Visa. They have this other version of Visa.
Yeah,
virtual
Visa.
It's so stressful
it's
buying
so
anything
annoying.
online now that I'm just like, I think about it 5 times if I want to get that thing, because I'm just like,
I bought something with that and I tried to return it, and it was such a hassle to get your money back.
Exactly. Put yourself in that place where it will take you a lot of work to actually either use your credit card or buy something with your credit card online, so that when you think about the amount of work, because a lot of things have been made easy for us with all these stores.
Yeah,
they want you to keep coming
and
back.
some people have all their credit cards on their phone now with the Apple Wallet or whatever.
Delete Apple Pay. Delete, what's the other one? Even most of your banks have that tap and pay thing. Take your credit card out of it. You can leave your debit card and do whatever you want with your debit card. It's money available to you, but you shouldn't really be doing that if you're trying to pay off debt, right? So take all of that stuff away. I don't have any virtual payment thing, which brings me to my next point. What is the biggest change that you can make in terms of how you pay?
One of the best ways to pay for things is through cash.
Yes.
It's also like if you think that you're gonna miss, like most people use their credit cards because they think they're gonna miss on some payments or whatever. Put everything on auto pay. Things will come straight from your actual bank account where there's actual money, because I used to have bills on my credit card, but then like I was like, oh, I have money at the end of the day in my checking account, but I've already spent it all on my credit card, and I don't even notice
Oh.
that I've spent it all. So like, auto
Oh.
pay directly to your own bank account. Don't direct pay on your credit card.
You know, I never did that, so I didn't even know that was a thing. Another thing is you have to have at least 3 checking accounts. For me, I have currently 3, I believe. So I've always had a checking account that is for my bills. So I total the amount of bills that I pay every month. Any workplace in Canada, at least, would offer you to split your paycheck into 2 accounts. My place offers as many as you can if you want to split your income as many times as possible. So you would have like an exact dollar amount that goes to this account, and then the change will go to a different account. So what I always used to do is I'll go to my payroll person and be like, I want this amount of money. So I figure out, because your bills never change, right? Your bill always stays the exact same. So I was like, okay, this is how much I need for rent and all of these things. So this goes to this account, and then all of my bills are on automatic payment. So my insurance, my car payment, my even my phone bills, like you log into your account, they ask you what kind of payment do you want, or you can, on the other hand, do it through your bank as add your phone bill account number as a biller, put the amount that your bill usually comes to, and so that way once it comes to that date that your bill is due, or before your bill is due, that money goes in. And that account, I never look at it because it's not my money, because I know like I can't touch it. So that one is like off the radar for me. I do monitor it though. That's just how it helps me never to miss a bill payment. I do that. And then I have a checking account. So this is my spending account, of which I don't even use my debit card anymore. I use cash. And like Chite was saying, cash is the best thing that, like, it's the
Cash
best
is
lifestyle
king.
change that you would make on your journey, and helping you put that extra money aside. So what I do is I have my feeding, my like whatever expenses I have to make for that month. I know the amount that I need. When the paycheck comes in, I go to the bank, I take that money out, and then Dave Ramsey has this wonderful formula that he has where you put it in cash envelopes. But I have a very nice wallet that has a lot of pockets. So I just share it around. I put my gas money in here. I put my feeding money here. Everything is there. If I start spending money, or let's say I have an amount that I put aside for maybe fun or just spending on something. If I start spending that money and it's done, that's when I know I should stop. It's over. So if I go buy my groceries and I have $50 to spend that day, and I go to the teller and they tell me it's $52, I'm like, hey, can you take that out? But if you had a credit card, you'd be like, okay, that's fine.
It's just $2 extra.
It's $2 extra. But because I don't have the cash in hand, I'm going to tell the lady, you know what? I don't really need 3 pounds of chicken right now. So I'm going to go back and take the lesser one. So that helps you. And a lot of people say, oh, well, I'm going to pay you back. But that's what I try to let people understand, that there's a different mentality that comes when you have a plastic in your hand. Even the debit card, there's a different mentality that comes when you have plastic in your hand, where you go and those little extra payments that you have, or even if you went into the store and you said, I'm going in to buy toothpaste, and then you walk into the toothpaste aisle and then you see a shampoo that has been out of stock for forever, and then they stocked it that day, like, I have to get that shampoo. But because you're spending with plastic, you're gonna buy that thing and it's gonna exceed the amount that you budgeted for, as opposed to you don't have the money in your hand, you don't have it. It's just simple.
Yeah, so I think I was reading or I saw a video on someone who was explaining why plastic is so bad. Plastic is so bad because when you spend cash, you don't get cash back. But when you spend on plastic, when you tap it, you get your card back. So you don't see, like, there's no exchange. There's no, you're not giving something away. You get your card back. And with your phone, it's even worse, because your phone, you look at it all the time. So like when you tap your phone, it's like a whole other level of mental unassociation with money actually leaving your account.
Yeah. And spending cash actually hurts. Like for me, I don't know,
it
but
hurts
like
so bad.
Now that I've started spending cash, like I've been looking for like,
ways to save it.
Exactly. Like I just love seeing the money in my wallet.
Yeah.
Like it's so annoying.
Yeah.
Like just knowing that, okay, I can go to I have $50 planned for my groceries, but I will go and be like, if I can have like $5 at the end of this trip, it will make me so happy.
And that's how I
get
started.
creative.
Yeah. That's how like my grocery budget was at $50 too. The reason it got down all the way to 20 is because I kept on finding ways to like chip away from like not spending all that money. And I'm like, and then you go to the aisle and you're like, oh, there's all of these tomato sauces, and then you see like, oh, I don't need to buy the brand one.
Exactly.
There's a store one that's exactly got exact same ingredients, but so much cheaper than buying the big brand tomato sauce. And it's gonna disappear in your food anyways. You're not gonna notice the tomato, you know. At the end of the day, it's gonna be covered with pasta or whatever you're making. It's not gonna be the same tomato sauce as it started on the jar. So like, don't be bougie.
Oh my goodness, that is so good. Like, why are you buying name brand grocery items when it's like no one's gonna see the what's one? I don't even know.
The color is the exact same. Color of tomato is the same. Like you're not gonna serve up your tomato sauce and be like, someone will be like, oh, that tomato is so pale. It must not be whatever the big brand. What's the big brand of tomato?
It's not the Gucci tomato.
It's not that good tomato.
It's not the Gucci tomato. It's not the it's not the Chanel tomato.
You know?
Oh my goodness. Because nobody wants to go to the teller and be like, oh, I don't have the money. So because I'm to avoid that embarrassment, I take out my calculator on my phone and I actually itemize every single thing. If you live in Ontario, when you put the total, multiply it by 1.13, it gives you what it will come up to with the taxes.
But groceries don't have taxes on them.
Not all groceries, but some do.
Well, if you're buying like packaged goods, they'll be
some.
But like if you're buying basic, that's where we go back to our basic needs. Like if you're buying basic groceries, like produce will never have taxes on them. But if you're buying packaged things, they'll have taxes on them for the manufacturer part of it.
Yeah. So
I've been so good now. I'm doing mental math, man. Like I'm going there. I know exactly what I need.
You will get to a stage where like everything becomes in your brain. You just like, sometimes I'll be doing my grocery shopping and I'm like, okay, this is going to be $90. And I go to the store, they're like $89. I'm like, yep.
You know what?
Yep, I got it.
You know what I've gone as far as to do? Now, even when I'm doing my grocery list, I know the prices because I go to the same grocery store all the time. Yeah. I know the exact price of tomato. So I'm like, okay, tomato is $1.99. So like when I'm doing my grocery list, I already know how much I'm going to spend. And of course you put in like an extra $5.
Which is another tip.
Yeah.
Shopping with a list. Like actually planning before you shop and not just going in there and just winging it, and which is what I do, quite frankly. But because I have a fixed amount that I have to spend, if I go into the grocery store and whatever is in my bag, or when I'm calculating and it doesn't come up to the amount that I'm trying to buy, I take stuff out. So just try as much as possible to have cash in hand for anything you want to buy, especially if you're going out with friends. Because that can go downhill real quick.
Tip for when you're going out with friends, ask them where you're going. So like those late nights, or let's go wherever we don't know where we're going, avoid those at all costs. Like if your friend is like, oh, we're having a birthday party and we're going to, let's say, the Keg. You know the Keg has a website. You go on the Keg's website and look at everything on the menu and know how much you can afford. But because
know how much the gratuity they put on it is as well.
Yeah. So like if you know that all you can afford is a baked potato, girl, that's the only thing you're gonna be eating at the Keg. Yep. You can't afford no steak.
Another good thing is like you said, because plans change. You might go out with friends and they're like, oh, let's go after the dinner, let's go to the bar. But if you decided that you're only taking your $30 with you that night, you'd be like, okay guys, good night. My $30 have been exhausted. You all go have fun in the club or whatever you want to do, but I'm gonna go home because my money's done. But if you have your plastic with you, you can be like, okay, I have that extra $10 in my account so I can go. And that's how it's just gonna keep going and go. And before you know it, you're spending more than you're making. You're not paying money into your debt. You don't have any extra money. And these are kind of the little things that actually lead a lot of people into situations where they feel like they don't always have money or they're always broke. Is this little things. You think that $10 that you're spending at the coffee shop, it doesn't matter. All of those things, they add up.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not gonna tell you to not have your Starbucks because people, they don't like when people talk about budgeting, because a lot of things they say is cut this, cut this, cut this. You can have your Starbucks or whatever you want if it's in your budget. I would not say anything about it if it's you've planned for it. Like we said, plan for it. If you know things that you know that I absolutely need, or not need, but I want to have this. If I don't have this Starbucks, I'm not gonna survive. Get your Starbucks, girl. Get your Starbucks.
Yeah.
But make sure it's in your budget. Make sure you're not paying more than you plan to spend for that Starbucks in that week. So just stick to it and you'll be fine.
Oh, you know what? Starbucks also produces coffee beans that you can brew at home. So you don't actually have
That
to go
is a
to the
good
Starbucks store.
one.
So you just go to your grocery store
And buy that your mug.
Yeah. Go
No
buy a
one's
mug.
gonna know.
Yeah, and then
Put it in
know,
your Starbucks mug and go to work, and then everyone's gonna be like, she's drinking Starbucks every day. Yeah, you're actually drinking Starbucks, but it's like 50% cheaper than the person that buys it from the
store.
drive-through every day.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good one. Okay, so another good thing that I know we both do is actually packing our lunches.
I am the queen of meal planning. Like, if I don't do anything, and the reason why I started meal prepping, it's not because I was trying to be cheap or anything. It was because I hate trying to figure out what to eat during the week. It's the worst.
I cannot cook. I cannot cook during the week.
No,
I cannot.
If I didn't do it on Sunday, that's
my
it.
brain cannot accept it.
Yeah.
Mentally, physically, I'm just like,
I'm not
why
ready.
should I be cooking on a weekday?
Yeah.
It's just,
and like on a weekday too, that's when you start ordering a lot of delivery because you're too lazy to even go get the food from the actual store. You're just like, I'm just gonna call an Uber Eats or whatever and get the food delivered to me. So that's the reason why I started meal prepping, and I've started meal prepping way before I started my debt-free journey, and that has just been a lifesaver.
And another good reason why you should meal prep, like if you work in a place where there's a lot of people that go to eat out, so they always invite you to go out to eat. For me, like 90% of the people I work with go out to have their lunch. So anytime you invite me, I'm like, I prepared my own meal, so sorry I can't come.
So now you're saving money.
That's a perfect excuse for me, because not only am I saving money, but I actually get to eat something that I enjoy, and because I made it myself. So it's just meal prep. And
I tell you, you're gonna learn some new skills on this debt-free journey. Like, if
honestly,
you never cooked before, now you gotta cook.
I have become so creative in my cooking. Like before, I would like to add all the garnishes and everything, but now, like, I would make a solid $10 recipe and everything. Like, you would not know the difference. Like, I get so creative. I download a lot of recipes online, like, because I get tired
Pinterest
of eating
is my best friend.
Yeah, I get tired of eating the same thing all the time. So like, you would get creative once you start meal prepping. All of this, in summary, is knowing when to downgrade. You have, at some point in your life, you're gonna have to downgrade. Whether it's downgrade the amount that you're spending on food, or where you go to eat. If you have your coffee somewhere where it's $6, maybe get it from somewhere where it's $2. You have to make major lifestyle changes if you ever want to get ahead, because like we said, we've already we've acknowledged the fact that we're spending more than we're earning. We're dipping into our credit cards because we don't have enough money to sustain the things that we need. So if you have taken stock and you've done all the additions and the minuses, you still don't have enough money from your income, like even if you're not adding all the extra expenses, then you have to cut down.
You have to cut down.
If you're earning $1,200 a month and you're living in an $800 apartment, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that you're gonna be under the water. You need to move out.
Assuming you don't have a car. You could survive if you didn't have a car.
Get a roommate, whatever it has to, like, you have to downgrade your life. So I know a lot of people don't want to hear this because you want to live your best life. And yes, you need to live your best life. But live your best life when you can afford to live your best life. Don't do it before. We live in a world of instant gratification. We want to have something that would take you 5 years to get. You want to get it now. So because you want to get it now, you go and put it on a credit card. Live according to what your income can let you get. If you're like me and you want to live a better lifestyle, then you gotta go increase your income. It's as simple as that. Either get an extra source of income or something else to do to supplement that lifestyle that you want to do. But if that's not not a choice for you, then you have to downgrade. You either have to downgrade your car. If you're driving a Lexus on a $1,200 paycheck, sell that freaking
You crazy
sell
girl.
that freaking car, get another one, keep downgrading. Downgrade as much as you can. If you have to live in a box, if that's what it takes. But that, like we said in the other episode, is that mentality. If you don't have that mentality where I'm gonna do whatever it takes for me to get
and
out of
trust
debt,
me, you can
then
make
you'll
a box
just-
look good. You should watch all of the
Yes.
tiny living spaces videos on YouTube. Girl, a box is good enough for you if you're in debt.
Yeah, so you have to have a major downgrade. If nothing's happening, if the only thing you can get is a little bit here and there, then do a downgrade. Sell stuff, sell as much as you can, move out of the house, sell all your furniture, sell all the things you can, all of those things that you put on a credit card, sell them away. And hopefully that would maybe you start seeing a little bit of pluses at the end of your budget. Anyway, so I hope we've given you a few tips that could help you change your lifestyle. And I know a lot of things are not what you want to hear, but the truth about life is nothing good comes easy. Like,
yes, no
you
pain, no gain.
Exactly. Think about the big picture. We said in the other episode, when you think about, you're not going to be living in a box for the rest of your life. At
It's
least
just
you
a
know
temporary
that
box.
you're living in a box for 2 months or 3 months, whatever it takes to get you out of water. And then when you're done, you know that you can move into that nice house, move into that nice apartment, and pay and be able to pay for it at that point in life. So do whatever it takes and avoid situations that are going to make you get into those things that you don't want to get into. And if you have any ideas or tips or questions, send us an email to sidesofadime@gmail.com. Follow our Instagram at 2sidesofadime, Twitter, Facebook, and all of social media. If you have questions, let us know, and we can't wait to hear from you.